Okay, well, I'm returning back to the Bible now. I've done enough science, and I seem to be getting, for my liking, a little bit too involved in that and not getting into explaining the Bible to everybody. Because I've been given authority over it to explain it in electrical terms, because that's what God is, and that's what He showed me. So, if you want to know anything more about all the double helix arrangements of electromagnetism and electricity, please go and see Theoria Apophasis, Ken Williams, on YouTube and on the net. He has books and everything about electromagnetism, and he's basically explaining with all the equations that you would ever need with phi and pi and radius and everything else. He's doing that. He gives away free books, Secrets of Magnetism Explained. So yeah, if you want numbers, go see him now. He has done a pile of work on magnetism that shows the flow that I've shown since day one of the crossover Vortex to halo wave and back to Vortex, Ouroboros torus bubble with triangular points shooting out as a vortex. Go see Ken Williams, Theoria Apophasis on YouTube and everywhere else. Because I'm getting back to the Bible. I've done 200 videos on science and things, and I seem to be getting into it, and I didn't want any inventions to pop into my head, so I'm going to have to push it away again and get back to explaining the Bible. So here we go. This is why Moses' face emits light. Okay, today we're going to be reading Exodus 34:35 about Moses. Now, I've said that God is energy, electricity and electromagnetism, and that electricity through matter causes electromagnetism, and electromagnetism through matter causes electricity. This is irrefutable and is a well-known fact. So by saying that God is energy and He gives out electricity and electromagnetism, why on earth would Moses' face send forth beams so that he would have to put a veil over his face when he went to speak with his people? So let's just read what it says. Put my glasses on here. So we'll start at 33. When Moses would finish speaking with them, he would put a veil over his face. But when Moses would go in before Yahweh to speak with him, he would take away the veil until his going out. And he went out and spoke to the sons of Israel what he would be commanded. And the sons of Israel saw Moses' face, that the skin of Moses' face emitted rays. And Moses put the veil back over his face until he went in to speak with him. So he continually kept his face covered due to the fact that his face, my Bible says, emitted rays. But as you saw in the other one there, it said Moses' face sent forth beams. That's the original Hebrew there. So mine's got emit rays. This sends forth beams. Now on both of them, I'm going to bring up the definitions of both in a minute. Emitted rays is pulsed because it's emitting rays, which means plural, and it's emitting, which means it's continuously giving out, which is radiation. And the original Hebrew says that the skin of Moses' face sent forth beams, not a beam like a torch, but sent forth beams. So his face, again plurally, was emitting a pulsation of light. So let's have a look at the definition of emitting rays. Now I've looked up emitted rays, which is in my Bible, because sent forth beams doesn't actually bring anything up. But light is a beam, and light is a pulsation of interlinked waves, a corkscrew connection of waves. So they both really mean the same thing. Light is an emitted ray, and a beam is an emitted ray of light. So we've had to go with emitted rays because that's the only explanation. And what does it show? Radioactive decay, also known as nuclear decay or radioactivity, is a process by which the nucleus of an unstable atom loses energy by emitting radiation, including alpha particles, beta, gamma, and conversion electrons. A material that spontaneously emits such radiation is considered radioactive. Well, the only way something is radioactive and emits radiation is by electricity. So you can check that with any kind of radiation fire. They are electrically driven, whether it's electrochemical or whether it's actually from the mains electricity. A wire fire, an electrical fire, gives off radiation. A wood-burning stove will give off radiation. and it emits light. So far, Moses' face is emitting radiation which comes from electricity. We can reproduce all those waves on there using electricity. So logic states that God is electrical, and that being in his presence means you gain energy. And so Moses' face started to emit rays because he was massively radioactive. But God's energy is not a destructive radioactivity. Only what we do is destructive with our radiation. The very fact that Moses didn't die and yet his skin was glowing like an isotope shows that God's energy is pure and actually gives life. And then we come to the radiation end of the line after emitted rays, which is radiation. In physics, radiation is emission or transmission of energy in the form of waves or particles through space or through a material medium. This includes electromagnetic radiation such as heat, radio waves, visible light, X-rays and gamma radiation. So again, electricity causes electromagnetic radiation, heat, radio, but visible light is what was coming off Moses. But again, he didn't die because God is pure. God is good. His energy gives life. Our radiation pretty much kills everything that we turn it on. I suppose it's good for some kind of cancers. That's because they've found a correct frequency, but for other cancers it doesn't work as well and some people don't respond. But again, here we show that God is good and God is electrical and electromagnetic and he is pure energy because Moses didn't die, but he glowed like a light bulb. So there we go. More explanation that God is energy, which is life. And God has given me authority to explain these things to you because the whole of the Bible is an electrical event. That's what you need to put your head around before you can view it as what it is. God places energy, removes energy. Things live and get better, or they drop down dead and turn to dust. So understand that God is for us. When he arrives, his energy is going to bring everything back to life. And we shall see what we shall see. So there we go. Moses' face shown by logic and science, and understanding that energy and matter are separate, and that God is energy, and that the matter is for the fire, and energy is life. We have proven that God is electric, his energy is good, and that Moses' face emitted light radiation, because God is energy. Thanks very much. My name is Lee, and I'm a Christian.